All right, well, good evening, fans. Welcome in here on AudioSportsOnline.com. I'm Rob Kendall. Thanks for joining us as we have an exciting freshman game for you here tonight. Lex Zorn, our play-by-play man, will join us momentarily. Of course, this is a tape-delayed video broadcast of Avon freshman football, and we thank our sponsors for tonight's broadcast, including Reynolds Body Shop, McNamara Florist, Red Cobra Wrestling, and the Avon Dental Center. And before I turn it over to Leck for the play-by-play of tonight's game, we're reminded that Reynolds Body Shop is a proud sponsor of Avon football broadcasts. They're conveniently located at 4325 West Washington Street in Indianapolis, just 4 stoplights east of 465. Their phone number is 243-2372, and they're open Monday through Friday from 7:30 to 5. Reynolds has been family-owned and operated for 30 years, specializing in collision repair. Reynolds Body Shop is also an insurance work specialist. Learn more about them on the web at reynoldsbodyshop.com. Still got a minute left to go here before we begin tonight's freshman broadcast between the Avon Orioles and the Brownsburg Bulldogs. McNamara Florist is Indy's hometown florist since 1954 with 8 convenient locations, including the Avon store on Rockville Road. McNamara Florist is famous for our floral designs for all occasions that help our clients express their emotions through flowers. Visit McNamara Florist for outstanding personal service and to select from the renowned home decor merchandise, including stunning Christmas classics. McNamara Florist is located at 9655 East Highway 36 in Avon and can be reached at 579-7900. And at this time, we turn over to the guy who'll be calling the play-by-play for tonight's game, Lex Zorn. Lex, should be a nice evening of high school football.
Oh, yes, indeed, Rob. It's a beautiful evening here, and what a great time to be a Brownsburg football fan. The varsity team now up at 4-0 on the season after last Friday night's big win against Avon. Avon themselves 2-2 after losing star quarterback Brandon Peters, but certainly had some good moments this season. Nearly made a big come-from-behind win on Friday, falling by 8 points, score of 30-22. We've got a very pleasant evening. It's 79 degrees under a mostly sunny sky, and the daylight should last throughout the duration of this game. Probably won't be the case some of the later games, but very nice weather tonight. We've got about 200 or so fans in attendance, including about 30 from Avon across the field. This is a dynamic stadium here, CF Rourke Stadium, which opened in 2013, one of the biggest and best high school stadiums in the state, very much a modern facility that's really on par with a typical, I would say, Division I AA stadium. And I'd say this is a better facility than a lot of Division II stadiums, so it's certainly a great place to watch high school football. And so, the present state of these two programs is very good in both cases. Avon, having made it to the semi-state for the first time ever last year and nearly taking down eventual state champion Center Grove, while Brownsburg, coming off 3 subpar seasons, looks like they're back on track this year in the top 10, I believe, for the first time since 2012. That's a team that went undefeated before having the heartbreaking first-round playoff loss to Zionsville back when Tokes Akronabade was a freshman. Tokes now a freshman at the University of Iowa. So hopefully he'll, be in state soon to play at IU or Purdue. But anyway, now kicking off for the Orioles to start the game. Let's see who that is. He's like standing. Well, his shoulders are about parallel to me right now, so I can't see his uniform number.
Number 33, George Gordon, it looks like, Leck.
Oh, yes, okay. That's good. Thanks. You had a better view than I did.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah, yes. So now 2 receivers back deep to receive for the Bulldogs. It's a short kick, bounces at 32, fielded at the 28, brought up to the 30, 35. It gets a little hole, passes the 40 up to about the 42, so Brownsburg will start in good field position. And that was, let me see here, that was number 19, Jacob Henderson on the return. That's Jacob with a K, like Jacob Dylan, the lead singer of the Wallflowers.
Their big song was One Headlight, which was a Bruce Springsteen song.
Oh, okay, I didn't know it was
written by Bruce Springsteen. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, Springsteen. He wrote a lot of songs that were hits for other artists other than himself. So, yeah. Anyway, low snap here, but he gets it off to the running back, who takes it all the way over to the right side. and he makes something out of nothing. He ends up, I think he's going to be, I think they're going to give him credit for a 1-yard loss. That was Devin Jones there on the carry, but, after the drop snap, could have been a disaster, could have been, a big loss there. So nice job by Devin Jones to keep the play from being a big loss.
Second down coming up now for the Bulldogs.
Yes, and so they got two receivers to the left, one to the right. Jones takes the handoff, looks over to his left. He's got room, but he's brought down. That was a great tackle there by Jarrett Stephen. He's also a very prominent running back for Avon. He had a 95-yard touchdown rush in their last game a week ago. Was it Hamilton Southeastern who they played in that game? I don't remember who they played.
We broadcast last week Hamilton Southeastern at Avon High School.
Yeah, okay, that's right. So two receivers to the left, one to the right. And now the quarterback takes himself on a keeper after nearly getting sacked, and he's got some room. He scrambles, gets out of bounds at the Brownsburg 49, so it'll be fourth down, but, it's a nice 7-yard rush, though, by the starting quarterback. Who is that?
Braden Davis.
Braden Davis, yes. So Davis, they give him credit for 8. They mark it right at the 40. So 3 rushes failed to get the Bulldogs a first down, and it looks like they were going to punt, barring a fake.
Nope, they're gonna go for it.
Oh,
and an offsides penalty on the Orioles.
So that's a good strategy there. Sometimes that strategy backfires, but here it worked. So. Now let's see, we've got out to the right to receive, we've got Donovan Marcus and C.J. Tanner. And we've got Davis and now Davis, a screen pass over to Jones, and he's brought down for about 7.
Nice open field tackle that time by number 26, Jordan Blades for the Orioles.
Yes, and so that was... first pass of the game for Braden Davis. So it looks like Devin Jones showing some good speed there in the early going. So now 2 receivers to the right. High snap, but Davis gets it, throws downfield, and it is intercepted there by number 33. Takes it up to the 30. 35's got some room over the right side of the field. We got a flag now well after the interception. He's brought down just past the 50 at about the 48.
Excellent interception that time by number 33, George Gordon, for your Orioles.
Yeah, it's kicker and also getting a interception there. It's part of the charm of high school ball. You see a lot of guys playing offense, defense, and special teams.
So that'll be first down for the Orioles, but as you said, penalty on the play. That's going to be a blocking penalty on Avon. So the interception will stand, but Avon going to be marched back quite a bit. Yeah,
the flag. I was pretty sure the interception would stand because the flag came several seconds after. But anyway, so now Avon, we get our first look at the game at the Avon offense. Their starting quarterback, let's see, is that's Mason Miller. He's 5'9" and 150 pounds. So they still got 3 years to grow and mature, though. Miller wears number 18. I wonder where he got that idea. And now, so 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Jarrett Stephen, the running back. Miller in shotgun. First and 10 at the 25. Hands off. No, he fakes the handoff to Stephen, takes it himself, but he's going to be brought down for a loss.
Yeah, nice job that time, Leck, by 34, Cade Shupert, filling the hole for the Bulldogs.
Yes, indeed. So let's see where they're going to mark him. It looks like they're going to give him about a 2-yard loss there. So it's hard to believe next week will already be the midway point of the regular season. It sure goes by quickly. But both these schools certainly, been among the great success stories there in the last decade. Brownsburg coming off a few off years, but seems to have it back on track now. John Hart working out very well so far. And now we got it passed downfield and just over the head of the intended receiver, Peyton Garrett. So Mason Miller incomplete on his first pass attempt of the game. That'll bring up 3rd and 12 at the 28. So far, Avon failing to capitalize after that interception that was brought back. Well, that was reduced by the penalty.
Avon in the road white uniforms, black letters and numbers, black helmets with the gold Oriole there on the side. And then, of course, the Bulldogs in the home purple, white letters and numbers, purple helmets.
So Avon's home jerseys, Brownsburg's home jerseys have an extremely easy color scheme for us commentators. Very easy to pick out the numbers. And now Jarrett Stephen, he's weaves his way around. We've got a flag here, but he's up to the 40, 45, 50, 45, brought down at about the 38, but will it count?
No, it's going to be a block in the back. One of those receivers out there made a little crackback block there, and that's going to bring a nice run back, unfortunately, for the Orioles.
Jarrett Stephen undoubtedly will be playing varsity ball very soon, probably next year. Might even see some action this year. You never know.
Remind you of Fitzgerald, who's currently on the varsity squad for them. Like very explosive, high-speed guy. You got to keep two guys on pretty much at all times because of how fast he is.
Yeah, and the thing is, after Tokesacker and Rabate, who was a 4-year starter, graduated, you really wondered who was going to get it and fill that gap. So it's good to see that Fitzgerald has. And, of course, we wish Akron Rabate all the best out there at Iowa. And it's always exciting to see a guy, from Hendricks County go on to play for a BCS school. And now, so 2 receivers to each side. Stephen, the running back, 3rd and 13 now. Shotgun, Miller takes it, throws down the left side. He's got a man open, and it is caught but dropped.
Big hit back there in the Avon the Brownsburg secondary. Nice effort by Avon's number 7.
Peyton Garrett.
Yeah, outstretched arms there, but incomplete pass, and Avon will punt with 5:33 left to go in the first.
Yeah, I've been commentating Tri-West varsity this year. They have a wide receiver named Peyton Hendershot. It's Peyton, in both cases, Peyton Hendershot and Peyton Garrett. Spell it the way you would expect someone from Central Indiana to. So, certainly, you can, and we got I believe that. I'm not sure what the call was there, but there's a penalty against the Orioles.
Too many men on the field, I think.
Okay.
So several penalties for Avon so far, costing them.
Yeah, that's right. So, let's see.
I've always wondered that, Leck, and obviously these freshman games, Mark Bless and staff is about growing these kids and getting these mistakes out now, but either you're on the punt team or you're not on the punt team. How are you too many men on the field on the punt team? Yeah,
that's a very good point, yeah. I mean, it's more, and we've got a blocked punt here. It's up in the air. We got a flag after the blocked punt, and let's see it looks like Avon downs it there at the 11, but we'll see what the penalty is.
The Bulldogs were in there very quick that time, Leck, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, of course, I was just telling you before we went on the air about a spectacular blocked punt I saw on Friday night with Danville against Tri-West, although, it wasn't enough to save the game for the Warriors as Tri-West improved to 3-1 of the season. It's been a very good year for Hendricks County football so far, and really, excited to see what the rest of the season brings, and the not only the last 5 weeks of the regular season, but also the playoffs. I think there are a few teams in Hendricks County here that have the opportunity to make a deep playoff run. And of course, it was really exciting last year to see Avon. After several years of trying to get into the
bad penalty on the Bulldogs, personal foul, roughing the kicker.
Oh boy!
So yeah. I don't know, and I think what Brownsburg's saying is, how could it be roughing the kicker if the ball was blocked?
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those times we wish we had the benefit of replay, but anyway, unfortunately we don't.
So the Avon offense will come back onto the field now.
Yeah, definitely a big break for the Orioles. And after it looked like they had gone 3 and out, now they get to start anew. It's going to be up at, I believe, the 1st and 10 at the 33. So the Orioles huddle now. And certainly, you never want to have a personal foul, especially something that prolongs a drive like that. So now you have Peyton Garrett and Jordan Blades lined up to the right. And another receiver to the left, Jarrett Stephen, the running back. Mason Miller in shotgun. Takes it, passes back to Stephen, who breaks a tackle and plows his way about to the line of scrimmage. So
Steven has just explosive. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off
No,
there,
go
but
ahead.
Steven has explosive open field speed. We've already commented on that tonight. Really just one or two broken tackles, and he'd be off to the races.
Oh, yes, indeed, and certainly he looks like he's a potential superstar in the making, though he's held for no gain on his first effort that counts of the season, although he had first effort that counts of the game, although he had a explosive run that was called back earlier. So now two receivers to the right, one to the left. Steven, the running back. Steven gets it off the snap. He breaks through at the 35, gets up to about the 40 or 41, so it'll bring up 3rd and short for the Orioles, the biggest gain of the evening so far for Avon.
Yeah, and of course, if you missed Friday night's varsity game, you can go back and watch it anytime you want at Audio Sports Online. We've got the video podcast up there for you. Brian Scott and Dave Shelbourne did an excellent job with that one.
Yeah, yes, as always. And so now we got Blades and Garrett to the right, one receiver to the left, Steven, the running back. Takes it again off the handoff, and he might have gotten the first. I think they might give him forward progress out to the 43, which would be a first. But I think it looks like they're going to mark him about a yard, maybe half a yard short.
Yeah, as you said, just short, very close.
So now the question is, will they go for it? Looks like they are. I don't see the punting unit coming out.
Now, one of the interesting things about this...
No, they are moving the chains, excuse me.
Okay, so first down. One of the interesting things about this Brownsburg Stadium, you may think we're very high up and the camera looks far away. You are correct on both accounts. These windows do not open all the way in the Brownsburg press box. So we always have to get a little creative when we bring you the video camera up here.
Yeah, not only that, but I often have to stand up because just to get a full view. So, but it's an awesome stadium, though, one of the best. And now Miller just off the fingertips of Blades there, bringing up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, as you said, it's a beautiful field, but most football stadiums have these sliding windows that slide open.
Yes, that's correct.
And these open vertically.
Yeah.
And so very nice, I'm sure, if you're in here in the winter, but for the video purposes, it always makes it a little difficult. But luckily, we have a trained professional, such as myself, Rob Kendall, to get the video on the field.
Yes, that's right. So 2nd and 10, Mason Miller incomplete on his first 3 pass attempts of the game. Got Blades and Garrett lined up to the right. Steven, the running back, Steven takes it. He's got a hole up to the 45-50, and he could go all the way, but there is a flag, 45-30, 25, brought down just shy of the 20, but will it count?
Well, as you said, Leck, or as we said, one missed tackle, and he's off to the races. He got by that initial defender, and they were not going to catch him. However, as you said, Mr. Steven probably getting tired of running here because this is about the 3rd really good run by him that's going to be called back.
Yeah, that wipes out a gain of about 36 yards or so. So definitely disappointment for all the penalties thrown so far. More against Avon, although the one against Brownsburg did prolong that drive after the blocked punt was called for roughing the kicker. So 2:40 to go now in the first quarter. No score here at CF Rourke Stadium, the state-of-the-art facility. And this freshman game gives us a look at the future of these two fine programs, two of the best here in Central Indiana, prominent members of the Hoosier Crossroads Conference. So now Steven, we got a new running back in there, and that is number 34, Leroy Moyo. He's 5'10", 180. And let's see what happens with him.
So it's going to be 3rd down and 23 now, Leck, with 2:08 left to go in the first quarter of action.
Yes, that's right. So now 3rd and 22 now after that rush by Moyo. And now Miller goes deep. He's got just overthrown the intended receiver. There was that was Cohen Morrell. He's 5'10", 160. I keep starting to instinctively say what class these people are, and then I remember this is a freshman game, so of course they're all freshmen.
And boy, what an arm from this, as we've seen.
Mason Miller,
yeah.
Yeah, he's certainly showing a lot of promise out there. And, his passes, they've been pretty close. They've just been either right off target or dropped. So he has not been throwing bad passes. They just haven't quite made the mark. So now it looks like we're going to have a punt here. It's a short punt. It bounces at the just inside past the 50. It takes an Avon bounce up to the 41, and it is downed there. So with 1:30 to go, Brownsburg will take over. Still under bright sky here at Brownsburg in the 4th freshman game of the season. It's going to be a varsity team entering the game at 2-2. They had wins over Plainfield and Hamilton Southeastern, and losses against Brownsburg and Ben Davis. So now a handoff there to who was that? Handoff there to Devin Jones, who gets maybe one. I think they're going to mark him right back at their line of scrimmage. Jones has been contained so far on his 3 rushes. So that'll bring up 2nd and 10 at the 41 of Brownsburg. So now another handoff to, and this time we got another running back in there, but he's stuffed, might have just gotten a yard. So let's see who that is. So that is, that's Cade Shepard, not Shepard, but Shepard for the Bulldogs. And they're going to give him credit for 1. So now 3rd and 9 for the Bulldogs, trying to keep the drive alive. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. And now passes deep downfield. He's got a man open, and it is caught. And he's brought down inside the 15. So that's going to be a gain of about 34 yards there. Beautiful completion there to Leicester Perrin. First name Leister. I don't recall seeing that one before. Definitely the biggest play of the evening so far. So now that will be the last play of the quarter. So we're going to start in the second quarter. No score with Brownsburg having the ball 1st and 10 at the Avon 22. You're watching Avon Orioles football here on audiosportsonline.com.
Let's go ahead and thank the Avon Red Cobra Wrestling. Avon has a rich wrestling tradition. Red Cobra Wrestling is proud to be a part of that. Red Cobra Wrestling offers training sessions run by nationally known coach Chad Red. Red Cobra Wrestling is located at 9233 East Highway 36 in Avon, across the street from Walmart and behind sidelines in the Red Brick Building. Red Cobra Wrestling offers sessions for all ages, including 3rd grade and under and 4th grade and up. Learn more about prices, class schedules, and information at redcobrawrestlingacademy.com.
Looking ahead, this Friday, the Avon Orioles varsity team will visit Whiteland, their last non-conference regular season opponent of this season. Whiteland is a very good program. They're in the Mid-State Conference. They, however, they're having an off-season entering this game with a record of 1-3, so hopefully all will get down there. It just should be about a half hour or so drive there to Whiteland. So fresh 9 minutes to start the second quarter, and it is 1st and 10 following that big 35-yard pass from and now we got on the first play of the ensuing drive, a screen pass up to number 83, who takes it down inside the 10 up to about the 5. So 2 big completions in a row there for Braden Davis. That one's going to be good for 11 yards. So the Bulldogs knocking on the door of making the first score of this game. That was, by the way, Donovan Marcus there on the reception.
And again, we apologize because of the way this stadium is set up, like our camera.
And now hand off to to Jones, who plows his way up to about the 1. Then he's pushed back by a brick wall full of Orioles defenders. Nearly got in.
Our camera here on the right side is blocked out by the window/wall. So if they run it to the far side of the field, we'll have a nice shot of it. If not, we apologize. You'll have to listen to Lek tell you what's happening here.
Yep. So, yeah, they put Devin Jones down at the 1 now for a gain of 10 yards. That was his first gain of positive yardage of the game. Now Davis fakes the handoff and tries to take it in himself. And does he get it? I couldn't tell. I'm still waiting. The Bulldogs are saying that he's in.
He's short. That was a miscommunication there, Lek. He went to hand the ball off. There was no running back there. And so unfortunately for the Bulldogs, fortunately for your Orioles, Avon able to sniff it out, keep him out of the end zone at least for another play. And now it's going to bring up 3rd down and goal from the 1-yard line. Nice job. Give credit by Avon, the secondary tacklers coming in that time. That was really what kept him out of the end zone.
Certainly a good defensive effort, a play that was very scoreable. So now running back gets it again, and this time I couldn't tell if he made it in or not.
No, he didn't. He got in the end zone. This is interesting, Lek. He got in the end zone. The ball did not, and, of course, the ball is all that matters. It looked like the running back stepped across the goal line, but the ball did not. And, of course, again, you often see times where the running back doesn't get in, but the ball does. This was the opposite. It's rare that happens, but it's going to bring up 4th and goal for the Bulldogs.
So was that 34?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. So, yeah, I assume they will go for it. I'd be surprised if they didn't. But, yeah, Shepard doesn't quite get in. Well, it looks like it's about, from my vantage point, it looks like it's literally about 1 inch shy. And the Bulldogs will take their first time out with 6:44 to go here in the second quarter. No score, but the Bulldogs threatening to change that.
Yeah, he couldn't have been any closer, Lek. Hey, the Avon Dental Center is a proud sponsor of Avon High School sports broadcast. Dr. Timothy Greer, DDS, and Dr. Christopher Lefebvre have served Hendricks County families for over 20 years. Located in Avon's Beechwood Center area, just east of Ivy Tech, they're open Monday through Friday, although early morning hours are available. Avon Dental Center offers high-tech dentistry that includes dental implants, orthodontics, and appointment crowns. At Avon Dental Center, their priority is to deliver quality care to informed patients in a comfortable and convenient setting. You can get more information at avondentalcenter.com or call for an appointment at 272-8100. Avon Dental Center has made and donated custom mouth guards to Avon High School athletes every year for the past 15 years. Parents can contact our office if interested in one for their high school athletes. The athletes love them. Lek might need some mouth guards on this play here because it's 4th and goal from the 1.
Yeah, that's right. It's a good way to look at it. So now the Bulldogs take the field, and now the arrival of the Orioles. Now they're coming back after some final instructions from their coach. They're going to try to cap off an outstanding goal line stand, and it will be outstanding if they manage to hold the Bulldogs scoreless here after a couple of plays from the 1. So now they got one receiver to each side, 2 running backs. Now handoff there, and yeah, they stuffed him. Wow.
Boy, that was an outstanding job by that Avon interior line, and I'll tell you the play that did it was that 2nd down play where the misdirection handoff and the Brownsburg quarterback had the goal line in his sights, but a couple of secondary tackles from the Orioles kept him out of the end zone.
Yeah, it was outstanding goal line stand there. When I think, to me, the gold standard of goal line stands came in Super Bowl 16 when San Francisco, if I remember correctly, they stopped Cincinnati on 4 consecutive rushes from the 1 en route to what would be their first Super Bowl win. They're up at the Silver Dome, which sadly is going to be torn down here in the near future. But anyway, so it was a 3-yard loss there by Shepard. They were all over him. So now 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Jarrett Stephen, the running back. Remember, he already has a 95-yarder on the season. And now he's threatening to get one on that play, except, they stopped him, but not until after he'd gotten a first down. So Jarrett Stephen, certainly, one of the cornerstones of the future here at Avon. He looks like a man among boys out there as they give him credit for 12. He's 4 for 22 now in the game. 6:22 to go and counting here in the second quarter. No score yet. Brownsburg having gotten down to the 1, but turning over on downs. So 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Steven, the running back. Mason Miller, the quarterback, in shotgun. Hands off to Steven again. Gets a little bit of a hole, but they stopped him for a gain of just about 2 or 3. Clock.
I was going to say 5:59. We're already inside of 6 minutes left to go in the first half.
Yeah, it's one of those things when you're used to, when you're accustomed to commentating varsity football like I am, it is kind of a shock to your system, when you look at the clock and see how far down it is, because you forget that they only do 9-minute quarters rather than 12-minute quarters in these games. But anyway, so we've got, now we've got Peyton Garrett and Corin Morrell lined up to the left, 1 receiver to the right, as they gave Steven credit for 2 on that one, by the way. So now Mason Miller throws up the middle. It's deflected. Could have been intercepted there. The intended receiver was Peyton Garrett. So Mason Miller still has not completed a pass. He's 0 for 5 so far. I'm sure that'll change before the evening's through, but so now 5:19 to go here in the second quarter. We're at CF Rourke Stadium here in Brownsburg, one of my favorite facilities I've commentated at, and I've commentated at about 25 different facilities so far in my 5 years. So now 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. High snap, pitches back to Stevens, and he trips, but gets up though, and now fights his way to about the 16 or so. That'll bring up 4th down. I think he will take a loss of a couple of yards. Yeah, it's good. So he lost 2 on that play.
Yeah, the Bulldogs very clearly got the scouting report on Steven that you bring one, you bring everybody.
Yes.
And they've done a very nice job because, man, is he very athletic, and he can really move the football.
Yeah, I'm sure they turned on Audio Sports Online and saw that 95-yarder. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
So now is a punt here over to the right. It bounces at the 45 back to 50, and now it's down at about the 47 or 48. So the Bulldogs will be taking over in pretty good field position. They knocked on the door. They got down, from my vantage point, it looked like that was literally about an inch shy of the goal line where the ball was spotted on that last play.
Yeah, it's a very interesting lack. The Bulldogs were definitely knocking on the door there, so by one account you would say good field position for Brownsburg, but from Avon's perspective, I'm sure when you've got the ball at the 1-inch line, they'd say, we're happy to give you the ball back at midfield.
Oh, yes. So now we got, lined up to the left, we've got Leicester Perrin, who had a really nice gain on the last reception, then 3 receivers to the left. Now we got a lob pass that's easy. It should have been intercepted there it was not a well-thrown ball. C.J. Tanner nearly got it. I'm sorry. Ryan Roberts nearly got it, or Joseph Sargent nearly got it for Avon. I was looking at the wrong roster there. My apologies. It was nearly the second interception of the game for Davis there, bringing up 2nd and 10 at the 48 of Avon. For some reason, it looked like they had forgotten to move the chains before the last play. They have them adjusted now. Part of the charm of high school ball, you see a lot of things you don't usually see at other levels. So now handoff to Davis. He throws down to the left side, and we got a pass interference penalty there.
Yeah, airing it out there on the sidelines there, and Avon with the hold to try to prevent the long catch and return.
Yeah, Leicester might have, he could have gone all the way and he made that reception. A very easy call there. Leicester Perrin is his name. I remember, I've seen over the years sometimes people have had, all name teams where they pick they pick players based on having the best names, and so Leicester Perrin might be one of those here in Indiana. They're very unique there. So 2nd and 10 at the 48 now. And okay, let me see where they're going to mark it. So it's not a spot foul like it is in the NFL, only 15 yards, but nevertheless it does move Brownsburg into Avon territory with 4:19 to go here in the second quarter. Brownsburg was still with 2 timeouts left. Avon has all 3. Brownsburg, the only team that's come close to scoring. So now, pass completed over there to number 83, who takes it up past the 35, up to about the 32. That was Donovan Marcus with his second reception. So he will get, let's see here, bringing up 2nd and 5. So now Davis has completed 4 of his first 7 passes. Now 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. But he's going to be brought down for a big sack. They were all over him.
Yeah, it was a nice job that time, Leck, by the Orioles to get in there. They've had good penetration here several times tonight, and excellent job there by Avon to move the Bulldogs back.
Yes, indeed. So that'll be 3:19 to go in counting. They got it marked down at the 41 now, so it'll be... It'll be a loss of about...
Timeout going to be called by Avon, I think. Yeah, Avon's going to spend a timeout with 3:11 left to go here in the first half, facing that 3rd and 12. I think they want to make sure Bulldogs probably in 2-possession territory here.
Yes, definitely. They're Avon trying to hold them. And of course, they did the first time. When Brownsburg got not only into the red zone but all the way down to the 1. So 3rd and 12 at the 39. Definitely, good football weather. Hopefully we'll have some good, hopefully have good weather for the rest of the season. I know there were a few games that were postponed for lightning last Friday. Fortunately, I don't think any of the Hendricks County games were. The forecast for Friday night has a high of 81 with possible thunder showers. Hopefully that will not interfere with any of the games. I've commentated a few lightning delays. They are definitely no fun. And I think week 3 or 4 is the latest in a season I've ever commentated a lightning delay. But, I was talking earlier, and hold that thought till after this play. 3:11 to go here in the second quarter, no score. And the Bulldogs take over. The Bulldogs continue after the timeout, 3rd and 12 following that sack. 2 receivers to each side. And we got movement here and a flag before the snap. I saw movement on both sides. Now the question is, who did it first? What I was saying, though, is, until a few years ago, both of the top 2 conferences here in Indiana, the Metropolitan Interscholastic Conference, in other words, the MIC, and the Hoosier Crossroads Conference were both 10-team conferences, so everybody played everybody in the regular season, so they didn't have any non-conference regular season games. And since Terre Haute North and South were dropped from the MIC, and Harrison, McCutcheon, and Lafayette Jeff were dropped from the HCC, now we're starting to get to see a lot of regular season games between schools from the 2 conferences, which is very exciting. See how the teams from the top 2 conferences fare against each other. So now it's going to come back another 5 yards for Brownsburg after that penalty. Had an unusually high number of penalties in this game, but, these kids, they'll learn from this. They'll grow and mature and, do it less over the years, I'm sure. So 3rd and 17 at the 44. Pass deep, and it's completed for the first down and more, down to the 25. That was Donovan Marcus again. Not used to seeing Marcus as a last name. Sorry about that. The play covers 23 yards. Braden Davis having now completed 5 of 8 passes, along with no touchdowns and 1 interception. So now we have Perrin lined up out to the right. Marcus and Tanner lined up to the right, and Perrin to the left. Handoff there to Jones. Takes it up 2 or 3 yards.
Yeah, and hey, if you're the Bulldogs here, I'm sure they're looking at the clock saying, worst case scenario, we don't want to give Avon the ball back here.
Yeah, that's correct. Up to the
because the clock is now inside of 2:30.
Yeah, they can be extremely conservative here. And now we got a fumble there, and Jones falls on it. Excuse me.
Bad snap that time, and cost the Bulldogs a couple of yards in and down there. There's just a bad snap from the center.
Still have 2 timeouts left, but this is a very crucial third down if they want to, run out the rest of the clock and get a score here. Very crucial 3rd and 10. 3 receivers to the left, Tanner to the right. Screen pass now out, gets completed, but he's brought down immediately for a gain of only about 1, so that'll bring up 4th and about 9.
Great open field tackle that time by number 1, Riley Broder for the Orioles. So as you said, it's going to bring up a 4th down opportunity, and it looks like they're going to send a kicking unit on and try to kick field goal here, Leck.
Yeah, so this would be a 36-yarder. I don't know what kind of range that the Brownsburg kicker has. So let's see.
Kick is, it's got plenty of distance, and it is
wide
no
left.
good. It was wide left. Plenty of distance. Kicker for the Bulldogs, number 53. We don't even have a 53 on our roster, which is common. You'll see in freshman games.
It's part of the charm of high school ball, different rosters, One of my favorite commentary stories, if I commentate long enough, I'm going to write a book about it. One of my favorite incidents was 2 years ago when Dylan Foster of Plainfield entered the game for the first time about midway through the second quarter, and he broke through for about 10 yards, and then 4 or 5 people yelled simultaneously, "Who's number 28?" And somebody finally went up on the on the roof with the assistant coaches and got the information. So that was, and finally 4 or 5 weeks later, he actually ended up getting on the roster.
We'll see how Avon plays this here, Leck. We're inside of a minute to go.
Yep. Now they do have 2 timeouts, and of course Jarrett Stephen, obviously with a lot of potential for long gains, but it seems like this Bulldogs defense is geared to stop him. But now Miller scrambles. He gets a few yards, but they're going to need, with 46 seconds to go, they're going to need a lot more.
Looks like they're pretty content to wind this down. Not a lot of rush, and now a timeout going to be called by Avon. Okay, so timeout Avon. They've got 1 left. Not a whole lot of giddy up there, but Avon's also got to be careful because Brownsburg could get the ball back.
That's true. And also keep in mind that Avon does not have a complete pass, Mason Miller having gone over 5 so far.
He's thrown some good balls, though.
He has, yeah. He's had 2 or 3 that really should have been caught. But, having not had any success passing tonight, I would assume they're probably going to keep running at this point. But we shall see. You never know. But, yeah, like I said, that for a long time, the only time that Mick and HCC teams met was in the tournament. So it's great to see a meeting in the regular season now. I think there were 7. I didn't count this year. I think last year there were 7 or 8 Mick HCC regular season matchups. And, of course, I called these Bulldogs the last 2 years against Lawrence North, a Mick team that's been on the rise after a few down years. So now 40.5 seconds to go. It's 2nd and 4 for Avon at the Brownsburg 26. Still no score. The Bulldogs got it down at the 1-yard line, and then we're stopped on 3 consecutive plays. So now with Jarrett Stevens, the running back, Jordan Blades and Peyton Garrett, wide receivers out to the right, 1 receiver out to the left. I cannot tell who it is from my vantage point. And so Mason Miller takes it, pitches back to Steven, goes over to the right side. He should have the first down. He does. He breaks through and gets almost up to the 40, so a nice run by Jarrett Steven.
Yeah, that'll stop the clock, so Avon maybe with a little giddy up. Maybe now they're going to take a shot at it. Clock
Possibly,
will wind as 33 seconds to go.
Give Steven credit for 14 on that one. So now 2 receivers to each side. Steven still in the backfield. Mason Miller in shotgun takes it. Looks deep. He's got a man open on the left side to Peyton Garrett, but it is almost intercepted and falls to the ground. It was nearly actually Leicester Perrin, who's also a wide receiver, has a couple of catches tonight. He had both hands on it, just didn't get the grip. So Mason Miller 0 for 6 through the air, and the clock stops 2nd and 10 at the 40 with 20.8 seconds to go.
I think if Avon's being honest with themselves here, I think they're going to probably realize you got a much better chance of Steven busting a run than completing a long pass.
Yeah, I mean, he broke one more tackle, the play before that. He might have had something. So, Steven probably gets the game ball so far. He's seven rushes, 36 yards, just over 5 a carry. So now we've got to Avon 3 receivers lined up to the right, including Blades and now handoff to Steven.
He
fumbles. He fumbles, and Brownsburg gets it at the 39.
Boy, they were thinking the same thing that we were, and unfortunately turned it over. So with 16 seconds to go, the Bulldogs have a little bit of life.
And 2 timeouts.
Yeah.
So they can play the whole field. They have a full range of options now.
And they do have to, unfortunately, spend one of the timeouts because the clock starts on the spotting over the ball in freshman football. So they'll be down to, one timeout now?
Yeah, that would be it, yeah. So, let's see, they're marking it down at the... it's at the 34. It's definitely disappointing, turn of events there for the Orioles. They probably weren't going to score, but certainly, you just don't want to give the Bulldogs, a chance to score. That's where the disappointment is. Nevertheless, Jarrett Steven, still probably the most effective player so far in this game by either team, and he hasn't had a huge breakthrough in this game, but he has had a couple of good ones. So 16.3 seconds left, and quarterback Brayton Davis has completed 6 of 9 passes for 84 yards. So that's an average of 14 of completion, so certainly it's not beyond the realm of possibility that they could, get into the red zone here. And remember, their kicker nearly made a 36-yarder who's just wide left, so, it won't take a lot to put him back in field goal range. So now 5 receivers, and the snap is over his head, though, and so they just wisely fall on it, and that will likely run out the half.
Yeah, I think it's going to Leck, 8-7. Bulldogs are going to stop it, so that will take us to the halftime, where it is a 0-0 score, 2 pretty evenly matched teams thus far. Let's take a quick moment to once again thank those that make our broadcast possible. We'll start with the Reynolds Body Shop, a proud sponsor of Avon Football Broadcast. They're conveniently located at 4325 West Washington Street in Indianapolis, just 4 stoplights east of 465. Their phone number is 243-2372, and they're open Monday through Friday from 7:30 to 5. Reynolds has been family-owned and operated for 30 years, specializing in collision repair. Reynolds Body Shop is also an insurance work specialist. Learn more about them on the web at reynoldsbodyshop.com. And McNamara Florist is Indy's hometown florist since 1954, with 8 convenient locations in the Avon, including the Avon store on Rockville Road. McNamara Florist is famous for our floral designs for all occasions that help our clients express their emotions through flowers. Visit McNamara Florist for our outstanding personal service and to select from the renowned home decor merchandise, including stunning Christmas classics. McNamara Florist is located at 9655 East Highway 36 in Avon and can be reached at 579-7900. And Avon has a rich wrestling tradition. Red Cobra Wrestling is proud to be a part of that. Red Cobra Wrestling offers training sessions run by nationally known coach Chad Red. Red Cobra Wrestling is located at 9233 East Highway 36 in Avon, across the street from Walmart and behind sidelines in the Red Brick Building. Red Cobra Wrestling offers sessions for all ages, including 3rd grade and under and 4th grade and up. Learn more about prices, class schedules, and information at redcobrawrestlingacademy.com. And the Avon Dental Center is proud to be a sponsor of Avon High School sports broadcast. Dr. Timothy Greer and Christopher LaFave have served Hendricks County families for over 20 years. Located in Avon's Beechwood Center area, just east of Ivy Tech, they're open Monday through Friday, although early morning hours are available. Avon Dental Center has made and donated custom mouth guards to Avon High School athletes every year for the past 15 years. More information on how parents can get a mouth guard for their high school athlete or for any dental questions, go to avondentalcenter.com or call for an appointment at 272-8100. Leck, we've got 8 minutes, 15 seconds up on the clock. Bulldogs and Orioles knotted at 0.
Yes, indeed they are. I think this is the first time in my 5 years of commentary that I've had a scoreless first half. So, unfortunately, I have no scoring recap except to say that Brownsburg had its second and one at the Avon one, and then failed to run it in on 3 consecutive plays. One of them, as Rob pointed out, appeared to be a miscommunication between Bulldogs quarterback Braden Davis and one of his running backs, that ended in Davis attempting to run it in himself and just missed by literally, from my vantage point, about 1 inch. But nevertheless, an exciting first half. For Avon, first of all, Mason Miller going 0 for 6 through the air, so obviously no receiving statistics to report. Jarrett Stephen rushed 8 times for 30 yards. Mason Miller 2 for 4, and Leroy Moyo had 1 for -2. Meanwhile, a few more statistics to cite for Brownsburg. Quarterback Braden Davis he completed 6 of 9 passes for 84 yards, no touchdowns, and 1 interception. Donovan Marcus had 3 receptions for 41 yards. Leicester Perrin 1 for 35. Devin Jones 1 for 7, and Cade Shepard 1 for 1. And meanwhile, on the ground, not a lot of success on the ground so far for Brownsburg. Devin Jones 6 rushes for 9 yards. Braden Davis 3 for 1. Cade Shepard 1 for -3, and Donovan Marcus 1 for -15. That being the fumble recovery to end the half. So now we've got 6:20 left on the halftime clock, and I've noticed in freshman ball they don't go to the locker rooms. They just each will pick a spot on the field. Bulldogs hanging out in the end zone now, and the Orioles now roughly between the about the 38 and the 47 or so, and it's a really beautiful day here in Brownsburg. We've had more fans file in. Probably have in the neighborhood of 250 to 300 fans here at this game. And, in basketball, of course, they usually have the varsity and junior varsity games played, back-to-back, as part of one session. And unfortunately, they don't, have the time to do that in footballs. And so it's always great to see when fans get out here to support these young kids who are the future of the programs. And, of course, both of these programs, Avon and Brownsburg, are, really two of the top programs here in the state of Indiana. And, of course, Avon coming out of a program-defining season in which they nearly they lost by 1 point in double overtime to Center Grove there last year, the eventual state champion, after beating both Ben Davis and Cathedral along the way. And Brownsburg, of course, two-time state champion, and they were a consistent winner for most of the last decade, before having some defensive troubles and falling below 500 in each of the last 3 years. But now they've come back strong under first-year head coach John Hart. So there's a lot of optimism here. Hendricks County certainly, other than Marion, really one of the greatest counties to watch high school football here in Indiana right now. And also, you have Tri-West, 4-time state champion. They're off to a 3-1 start. Plainfield, they had a minor setback with a 7-point loss to Roncalli, but they're a very tough competitive team under Brian Woodard, and looks like they got their healthiest team in quite a while this season. They have been plagued very badly by injuries in recent years, but nevertheless have still gotten to 5 sectional championship games in Coach Woodard's first 10 years, and trying to do that and even better this year. So now the teams, Brownsburg, it looks like they've ended their halftime session. They're about to come back to start warming up for the second half. And so let's look ahead to see what Avon has on schedule for the rest of the season. Like I said, at Friday, they're going out to Whiteland to play the Warriors of the Mid-State Conference, a team that's usually one of the top 3 or so teams in the Mid-State, having a little bit of an off year this season. But nevertheless, Coach Darren Fisher, has produced some very innovative offenses in the last few years. I've had the pleasure of calling a few of his games. And you look at you also have to give them credit for scheduling fearlessly. I mean, they started off with losing to New Palestine, who's a major power, and then they had the courage to play Center Grove the next week. They lost 43-0, but lots of teams have lost worse than that to Center Grove. And they also had a fairly close loss to Decatur Central before beating Franklin last week. But anyway, though, so I hope you'll get out to support the Orioles varsity team Friday night there at 7 o'clock there in Whiteland, right off of I-65. And then the Orioles return home a week from Friday to play Fishers. Always one of the top teams in the state. They're usually in the top 10. Of course, the 2010 state champions under Rick Wimmer, who built that program from scratch. Hard to believe they're only in their 11th year of play. Then the Orioles on September 30th go back on the road up to Westfield before returning home for Senior Day on October 7th against Zionsville, and finally closing out the regular season on October 14th at Noblesville. The Millers certainly, one of the more unusual names here in the state of Indiana, and certainly have been improving, in the last few years. They had the first decade of this millennium, they struggled. I don't think had a winning season, but now they're getting back to the point where they're finishing in the neighborhood of 500 every year. And then after that, the Orioles will go into a postseason play, and they're in what I like to call the sectional of death, along with Brownsburg, Pike, and Ben Davis. But Avon did win the sectional of death last year, so they can do it again. And, there's been talk in the last few years about starting to put seeding in the tournament. I don't know how realistic I don't know how realistic a chance it has of happening. It would be interesting to see, though, because there are some teams that just have, like, for example, Westfield, a conference rival in the Hoosier Crossroads Conference. Of course, they're 5A rather than 6A. But Westfield has the good fortune of being in a sectional that's rounded out with the three Tippecanoe County teams who were dropped from the HCC a couple of years ago: Lafayette Jeff, Lafayette McCutcheon, and Tippecanoe Harrison. So basically that pretty well guarantees the Shamrocks of getting into the Final Eight every year. So there is some imbalance there, but I guess that's part of the charm of high school ball as well. Now we've got, time flies when you're having fun. Only 7 seconds left on the halftime clock. I've noticed in the varsity games a lot of times when it runs down to 0, then they add 3 minutes to it. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen here. Avon already coming out to the field. Looks like they're ready to start the second half. Yeah, they have it set with 9 minutes. And so... Now, Rob, do they play overtime in freshman ball? I know the rules are a little bit modified.
I don't know. I know they have a fifth quarter most of the time to let the kids who did not get to play during the regular game play.
Yes. Well, let's see here. So now Brownsburg takes the field, and we're ready to kick off here. So the kicker for Brownsburg is number 53, as Rob said, and we're sorry that we do not know his identity, so we'll just call him 53. Central Indiana has produced some great kickers over the years, including Brandon Dowers right here at Brownsburg. Won a national championship last year with Marion in the NAIA, along with, there were 5 Brownsburg and 5 Avon players both on that team. Always great to see. It was great to see a national championship at a great local school that was built around homegrown talent. The bulk of the players from that team were Hoosiers. So
Avon will get the ball elect to begin the second half. It goes into the end zone.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it's ironic, Rob, that last week in the Tri-West Danville game, that was the first touchback I called all season, amazingly. So I haven't seen a lot of good kicking this year, but so it's just interesting. Some of the best kicking I've seen all year has been in this freshman game today. So now we've got, who is that? Jordan Blades and Janae Sanusi lining up to the right for the, and now a handoff there to Jarrett Stephen, who gets maybe one. Stephen is unquestionably the go-to guy for this Orioles offense.
Yeah, and I continue to think, like, that your best option to hit the big play for Avon is to just keep giving the ball to Stephen.
I would think so, unless maybe, you could, give him, maybe give it to him 5 times in a row and then hope that they'll clamp down on him so much that it'll leave a receiver open. But then again, Mason Miller 0 for 6 on the game so far. So anyway, so Garrett and Blades out to the right, wide receiver to the left, Stevens the running back, Miller in shotgun. After not getting any yards, and now they give it to him again, and he gets maybe 2 on that one, so that'll bring up 3rd and long. 8:11 to go, third quarter, still no score at Brownsburg.
It was a great varsity game on Friday night. Again, these two teams just pretty evenly matched up and down the rosters and the teams, and it's just usually you're going to get a really good game.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's one of the great rivalries, not only a conference rivalry but also a county rivalry here. These two teams just located about 10 minutes apart or so. So now 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, 1 to the right. And pass up the middle. It's complete now. Miller gets his first completion, and it gets it just past midfield. Sanusi was the wide receiver, so that'll be a gain. They mark him at the 45. But nevertheless, it's a 23-yard reception for Sanusi there. So that'll be 1st and 10 at the Avon 25. So Mason Miller's first pass comes in a big way. So 2 receivers to each side now. Steven, the running back. 7:17 to go now, third quarter, So now a pass down the left side to Sanusi, and it's off his fingertips. He dove to get it, nearly made another grab. He would have been down just shy of the 40 had he made the catch. So that'll bring up 2nd and 10 at the 45. Second and 10 at the 45. No score here. Avon just had, probably their biggest play from scrimmage of the game. So now Blades, Garrett, and Sanusi all lined up to the left now. 1 receiver to the right. Steven, the running back. Miller in shotgun. Takes the snap, hands off to Steven. He gets a hole up to the 50, 45, 40, and he trips down just past the 40, so a nice run there by Jarrett Steven.
Give a lot of credit to the Brownsburg secondary, though. A nice open field tackle. That is definitely not a guy you want to see coming at you there in the open field, Black.
No, definitely not. So Jarrett Steven with a 16-yard rush, his biggest of the evening. He's now 11 for 48. Nearly 4.5 a carry. And I do think the longer that they keep giving the ball to him, the better the chance he's going to get that breakthrough that we've been talking about. So now Colin Morrell lines up to the right, Jordan Blades, Garrett Payton, and Janon Sanusi to the right. Steven, the running back. Miller takes the snap, looks deep, rolls to his right. He's got time. Throws, he's got a wide open Garrett down inside the 20. He gets down to the 16. The ball comes out, but they're ruling he was down first. So Miller, 2 very big completions on this drive after going 0 for 6 to start off the game. They're going to give him credit for 24 on that one. So he's at 49 yards worth of passes there. That one coming to Garrett Payton. Or Peyton Garrett, excuse me. So now 3 receivers to the right. Steven, the running back. Miller in shotgun. Hands off to Steven, and he could go all the way, and he does. So Jarrett Steven finally strikes first blood for Avon. 6:19 to go here in the third quarter.
Yeah, when you keep giving the ball to a guy of his talent, Leck, you're eventually going to find your way into the end zone, and that is what Avon did right there.
Yes, indeed. And so now Jarrett Stephen, that'll move. He's now 12 for 69 on the game. That certainly, pads his stats. So let's see who will be kicking. I believe that will be George Gordon. George Gordon is the kicker for Avon, and holding will be Jalen Love. It's only 5'4", 150, possibly the shortest play. And now that it's a bad snap, so Love takes it himself, but we got a flag here, so we'll see what that's all about. But nevertheless, Jarrett Stephen, I'll tell you, they did a pretty good job containing him in the first half. They didn't shut him down by any means, but they just kept him from going crazy, and that call is going to be against the Bulldogs. So 6:19 to go here in the third quarter. 6-0 the score with the conversion pending after Jarrett Stephen just rushed 21 yards, matching his jersey number for a touchdown.
All sorts of confusion here for Avon.
It looks like now they're going for two. I see Stephen in the game now, and we see, Morrell lining up to the left.
Yeah, now Avon's going to have to spend a timeout. They had just a ton of confusion. Wrong people on, people coming off, and wanting to call a timeout there to try to get everybody back on the same page. Hey, Reynolds Body Shop is a proud sponsor of Avon Football Broadcast. They're conveniently located at 4325 West Washington Street in Indianapolis, just 4 stoplights east of 465. Their phone number is 243-2372, and they're open Monday through Friday from 7:30 to 5. Reynolds has been family-owned and operated for 30 years, specializing in collision repair. Reynolds Body Shop is also an insurance work specialist. Learn more about them on the web at reynoldsbodyshop.com.
Well, back here at Brownsburg, where your Avon Orioles have just scored first here in the third quarter, taking a 6-0 lead over the host Brownsburg Bulldogs with the conversion pending. Jarrett Stephen, no S on the end, Jarrett Stephen took it 21 yards up the middle, relatively untouched. The touchdown was set up by the first 2 completions of the game for quarterback Mason Miller, 24 yards to Peyton Garrett, and 25 to Janae Sanusi. So now a 2-point conversion attempt here. We've got 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Steven gets it, and he's stuffed short of the end zone. They were ready for him that time.
Yeah, nice job by the Bulldogs that time. They knew, everybody in the building knew where the ball was going, and nice job there. Hey, McNamara Florist is Indy's hometown florist since 1954 with 8 convenient locations, including the Avon store on Rockville Road. McNamara Florist is famous for our floral designs for all occasions that help our clients express their emotions through flowers. Visit McNamara Florist for our outstanding personal service and to select from the renowned home decor merchandise, including stunning Christmas classics. McNamara Florist is located at 9655 East Highway 36 in Avon and can be reached at 579-7900.
Well, back here at Brownsburg, where your Avon Orioles have opened up a 6-0 lead here in the third quarter after a 21-yard touchdown rush by Jarrett Stephen. Stephen himself attempted a 2-point conversion on a rush but failed. So now Avon will be kicking off. They are 6:19 to go here in the third quarter and trying to get this victory here after Brownsburg was victorious in the varsity matchup between these two teams on Friday night by a score of 30-22, a game in which the Orioles made a late comeback attempt that fell just a touchdown and a 2-point conversion short. George Gordon to kick off for the Orioles. Back deep to receive for the Bulldogs. We have number 9, Isaiah Higgins. And then we have one other player whose number I cannot see from my vantage point, sorry to say. But anyway, he barely squibs it. It's picked up at about the 27, right up to the 30, 35. He's got a hole, 45. He's got room on the right side of the field, 50, 45, and he's knocked out of bounds just shy of the 40.
Nice little momentum boost for the Bulldogs that time, Leck. They certainly need it after Avon marches down the field and scores.
Yeah, so the Bulldogs will start off in excellent field position following about a 30-yard or so return by Donovan Marcus. Both of the kickoffs by Avon so far tonight have been very weak. I don't know if that's intentional or not, but anyway, because he did not. It did not look like he kicked. And now incomplete pass there, and we got an injury here. We have for Avon. We've got Parker. I'm sorry, it's one of those. Griskevich. Parker Griskevich is down. It looks like he took a hard shot to the midsection. He's kneeling now. Hopefully it is nothing serious. He might have just, took one of those shots where he lost his breath. Now he's lying down on the ground. He is moving his arms and legs. He is being attended to. It will bring up 2nd and 10 at the 41. First possession of the half for the Bulldogs. He's lying on his back with his knees raised. 6:08 to go. Now both teams huddling near the sidelines with their coaches. Just hit me. They don't have a bench here on the Avon side. And now, Griskevich gets up and he was walking onto the field groggily but under his own power. Gets a nice ovation from the fans here. So 2nd and 10 at the 41 as we resume play here. Now we've got Desmond Hampton lined up as wide receiver to the left, along with Leicester Perrin and one other player who I cannot tell from my vantage point. Then we have C.J. Tanner lined up to the right. Now we've got now a handoff to Donovan Marcus, but he's going to be brought down for a loss. He took it all the way over to the left side and just ran out of room and was brought down. I think they're going to get him for about a 1-yard loss there. 5:52 and counting in the third quarter. First drive of the second half, not going well for Brownsburg so far, despite starting in outstanding field position. They lose 2 on that one, bringing up 3rd and 12 at the 43. So now 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, no running backs. And now Davis throws deep on the right side. I think they're going to get, I thought they were going to get Joseph Sargent for pass interference, but there was no flag. From my vantage point, it looked like there was clear contact there, but that will nevertheless bring up 4th and 12. So to start, we have Braden Davis 0 for 2 through the air to start the half after going 6 for 9 in the first half. So now C.J. Tanner, Donovan Marcus, and one other receiver to the right. And he throws up the middle, and it's complete this time to Marcus. Stays on his feet after a hit, and he's brought down inside the 25. So big 4th down conversion there.
Nice job of pitch and catch that time by the Bulldogs. Avon secondary letting the Bulldog receiver get sit down in front of him, made the catch. It'll be 1st and 10 for Brownsburg.
Donovan Marcus with 4 receptions now for Brownsburg. Covering 20 yards, that puts Davis over the 100-yard mark in receiving. 5:04 to go and counting here in the quarter. Now a handoff to Devin Jones, who plows his way up for 1 or 2. Clock ticks under 5 minutes now. Brownsburg leads 6-0. There was no score in the first half. Jarrett Stevens, a 21-yard rush, and a failed 2-point conversion here in the second half, or in the third quarter, as they give Devin Jones credit for 1 yard on that rush. He's been well contained in this game so far. So now we've got Tanner and Marcus out to the right. Handoff there. There's some kind of miscommunication there. and they were all over Devin Jones immediately, and he's brought down for a loss, so that'll bring up another 3rd and long.
You know, a couple of times tonight, the Bulldogs have really had some momentum, and Avon's interior line has made some nice plays that have put the Bulldogs back on their heels and made it very difficult to keep the drive sustained. Of course, we definitely think about the goal line stand there that they had in the first half. Yeah,
and now they got them down to 3rd and 13 here, although remember, the Bulldogs did convert on 4th and 12 earlier in this series, so now pass up the middle, and it is complete for the first down inside the 10. So 2 big conversions in a row for the Bulldogs with double-digit yards to go.
Brownsburg's been very effective with that pitch and catch there on 3rd down opportunities, or 4th down opportunities, late down opportunities, I guess we'll call it. And nice job there by Brownsburg.
Yeah, 19 yards there to Jacob Henderson, bringing up 1st and goal at the 7. So now pass there by, and it's going to be a touchdown there by Donovan Marcus on a 7-yard pass there from Braden Davis.
Yeah, it was wide open there in the flat, Leck. Nobody around him caught it, brought it in, and went untouched into the end zone.
The extra point away from taking the lead. So after no scoring here in the first half, now each team with the touchdown here in the second half, and number 53 will try to put the Bulldogs ahead. And again, now the only kicker I see here on the Bulldogs roster, as the extra point is good by number 53.
So Brownsburg takes the 1-point lead with 3:23 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Hey, let's go ahead and thank Red Cobra Wrestling. Avon has a rich wrestling tradition. Red Cobra Wrestling is proud to be a part of that. Red Cobra Wrestling offers training sessions run by nationally known coach Chad Red. Red Cobra Wrestling is located at 9233 East Highway 36 in Avon, across the street from Walmart and behind sidelines in the Red Brick Building. Red Cobra Wrestling offers sessions for all ages, including 3rd grade and under and 4th grade and up. Learn more about prices, class schedules, and information at redcobrawrestlingacademy.com.
Well, back here at Brownsburg, we have a barn burner of a game brewing here between the freshman teams of your Avon Orioles and the Brownsburg Bulldogs. Brownsburg has just taken a 7-0 lead following a 7-yard touchdown pass from Braden Davis to Donovan Marcus, and number 53's kick. And it brings us to our current score of 7-6. Earlier in the quarter, Jarrett Stephen rushed 21 yards for a touchdown for Avon, but then failed when trying to rush in a 2-point conversion. So now number 53 set to kick off. Now the only kicker shown on the roster for there is number 53 kicks a very deep one. He gets it down close to the end zone to field it at about the 2, up to the 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. He's brought down right around the 25, maybe the 26. But the only kicker shown on the Bulldogs roster is Clayton Chase. However, he's shown here as number 93, so maybe that's Clayton Chase, and he just changed his number. Either way, 53 and 93, neither one a typical kicker number. Of course, they don't. That's one thing about the NFL. The NFL actually has rules where you have to have certain numbers if you play a certain position. So you get a lot more variety of the numbers here in Avon. But down in high school ball, excuse me. So 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Mason Miller in shotgun. Jarrett Stephen, the running back. And they give it to Stephen, but this time he's hammered. Might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it.
Yeah, both of these defensive lines, I should say, have done a very nice job so far in this game. Really not giving up a whole lot of yardage there in between, especially in between the tackles.
Yeah, and certainly, I'm looking forward to seeing these guys play in 2 or 3 years on the varsity squad. They should have some epic battles then. So 2:34 to go and counting. 2nd and 12. Avon with the ball, trailing by 1, 7-6. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Stephen, the running back. Miller in shotgun. Takes the snap. Throws deep down the right, and it's nearly intercepted. The intended receiver was Peyton Garrett. That looks like Miles. Looks like it was Miles Fisher for Brownsburg who got a hand on it. Mason Miller only 2 of 10 through the air, although both of his passes came for completions of 24 and 25 yards on the last possession, setting up that touchdown rush by Steven. So 3rd and 12, a very crucial third down for the Orioles here. If they if they turn this ball over here, or if they punt it away, then Brownsburg, you could easily run the clock down well into the fourth quarter and put the Orioles, in a no margin of error situation. So now pitch back to Steven, and they're all on top of him. He dodged one tackler, but then went around and crashed into a brick wall, and he's brought down for a loss. So Jarrett Steven, in his first possession since the touchdown, has two rushes that both go for negative yards. I have him 14 for 64 now, 152 to go now. And this will be a crucial, this upcoming possession by Brownsburg will be crucial for, and it's a very low kick. I might have been partially blocked. It bounces at the 22, now up to the 25, 30, and it's downed at about the 32, so a net punt of only 10 yards. So Brownsburg will start off in excellent field position, and this now even more crucial than it looked, a few seconds ago. More crucial for the Avon defense. But remember, the Avon defense has done some big things tonight, although on the last possession, they surrendered a first down first on, I believe, 4th and 12 and then 3rd and 12, setting as Brownsburg set up that touchdown pass from Davis to Marcus. So now, keeper there by Braden Davis. He could get the first down. He runs out of bounds just a couple of yards short at about the 25.
See, he's already learning the very wise approach to football, Leck, as a quarterback.
Yes.
Get out of bounds.
Yes, indeed. So they give him credit for 7 yards. Braden Davis, he had an 8-yard rush earlier. He seems like he has, pretty good speed for a quarterback. So now 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Jones, the running back, throws up the middle now toward the end zone, incomplete. He threw to, could not tell who that was, but he was well covered.
Yeah, that was great coverage that time by number 3, Joseph Sargent for Avon on the far side of the field. Great job.
And it was C.J. Tanner at the other number 3. So it was number 3 guarding number 3, who was the intended receiver. Tanner was the intended receiver, that is. So 8 of 14 through the air so far for Davis. Now 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. And now he looks over to the sidelines for instructions. We've got a handoff here to Jones, but they're all over him. They bring him down, so it'll be 4th down. Well, that's going to be a big loss of about 7 yards or so. So Devin Jones has not had a breakthrough rush. He had an 8-yarder in the first half, but other than that, they give him a better spot than I thought. So, but nevertheless, a 5-yard loss. 51 seconds to go on counting, 4th and 8. So excellent work so far on this drive for the Avon defense. They did give up a big 4th down attempt on the last possession, though. Let's see what happens now. So 2 receivers to each, 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. But now they're all over. Yeah, they got a huge sack here. He's going to be brought down for about a 10-yard loss with 32 seconds to go in the quarter.
Yeah, it's happened throughout the course of the game, Leck, that this Avon defense, especially that interior line, has come up very, very big.
Yeah,
and doing a great job there.
And that could have been a disaster with the Bulldogs taking over on the 32 after that punt that might have been partially blocked. And they give that'll be a 10-yard loss there on that sack of Davis, by the way. So Avon, his defense really has come through when it's counted most for most of the game. And now they line up. Let's see, they've got Morrell and Garrett out to the right. We got Sanusi and one other player to the right. And now Stevens, the running back. And some miscommunication there. Miller threw out of bounds. I think he was trying to hit Jordan Blades, but it was not close to him. It was way over his head. So Mason Miller only 2 for 11 so far. 27.4 seconds to go now here in the third quarter. And Brownsburg leads Avon 7-6. A missed conversion by Avon is the difference so far. So now Blades and Garrett line up to the left. And I believe that's Morrell to the right. Steven, the running back. Miller in shotgun. Takes the snap. Looks back. Throws to the left side. Complete to Sanusi, who's up to about the 50. He might have the first down. They stopped the clock with 20 seconds left to move the chains. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 50. Sanusi's second reception of the game. The clock is back in motion now. Avon does not have to run another play here in this quarter. They've got Peyton and Morrell lined up to the left, 2 receivers to the right, and they do let it run out. So 9 minutes to go. Got an epic finish coming up here at Brownsburg, with your Avon Orioles trailing the host Brownsburg Bulldogs by a score of 7-6 on audiosportsonline.com.
Hey, Avon Dental Center is a proud sponsor of Avon High School sports broadcast. Dr. Timothy Greer and Dr. Christopher Lefebvre have served Hinders County families for over 20 years. Located in Avon's Beechwood Center area just east of Ivy Tech, they're open Monday through Friday, although early morning hours are available. Avon Dental Center has made and donated custom mouth guards to Avon High School athletes every year for the last 15 years. More information on how parents can get a mouth guard for their high school athlete or for dental questions, go to avondentalcenter.com, or for an appointment, call 272-8100.
Well, back here at Brownsburg, we're about to start the fourth quarter. Should have a fantastic finish coming up. It's been a very hard-fought, evenly contested game throughout. It was scoreless in the first half, then each team got on the scoreboard there in the third quarter. First, Avon with a 21-yard rush by Jarrett Steven, who then failed on a 2-point conversion rush attempt. And then Brownsburg took the lead on a 7-yard touchdown pass from Braden Davis to Donovan Marcus, followed by an extra point by number 53, apparently Clayton Chase, but I am not sure about that. So anyway, 1st and 10 now at the 50. Avon driving, trying to regain the lead. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Jarrett Steven, the running back. And we got movement, and we got a flag before the snap.
And, of course, both sides point to the other, saying, they did it. They did it.
Yeah, I've been watching football 38 years. I'm still waiting for the culprit to, point to himself. And it's going to be a false start against Avon, so that'll back it up 5 yards. I tell you, they don't have the heights and weights listed on the Brownsburg roster, but that number 98, man, he looks like he's a mammoth already.
Yeah, they've got some big guys up there at the freshman level now. You just not see that a whole lot.
Yeah, so now Sanusi, Blades, and Garrett all line up to the right, 1 receiver to the left, Jarrett Steven, the running back, Mason Miller in shotgun. It's the first play of the fourth quarter. Throws up the middle. Oh, Sanusi nearly made the catch in double coverage. It just bounced off his hands. It actually bounced pretty high up in the air, so it could have been intercepted, but no Brownsburg players seemed to notice it was in their within their reach. So 2nd and 15 now at the 45. Miller continues his struggles through the air. 3 of 13 now. So 55 to go. 2 receivers to each side. Jarrett Steven, the running back, has the only score for Avon tonight. So now screen pass there, completed by Morrell, who gets it up to about the 49 of Brownsburg, so that'll be about a 6-yard gain, setting up 3rd and long. So Cohen Morrell, Cohen, with his first reception of the game. And they give him credit for 5. 4 of 14 through the air for Mason Miller, though all 4 of his completions have come here in the second half. So now they have Blades and Garrett out to the left, and Morrell to the left. The other, and now pass to Sanusi. It's complete for a very short gain, maybe 2. So Sanusi with his 3rd reception of the game, but it only goes for 3. And now the question is, will they go for it?
Yeah, it looks like they are, Leck. This is maybe something in a varsity football game they're going to punt, but this is these kids are out here to get better, and the more plays you run, the better. And ultimately, wins matter, but not really.
Yeah. Understood, yeah. So 4th and 7 at the 47. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Mason Miller looks, he takes it himself. He could have it. He's got some room, and he's brought down, though, at about the 44. So Mason Miller gets a gain of about 3, but no more. So the Bulldogs will take over on downs with the lead, 7:25 to go. So now a crucial possession for the Avon defense. They need to get the ball back and fast.
Yeah, he just hit the nail on the head there, Leck. He had a room to run, and for some reason took on, I guess it was a linebacker, and didn't win that battle. I don't know whether he thought he was going to run him over or what.
Yeah, I'm not sure what his thought process was, but Mason Miller's done some good things here in the second half, nevertheless. It's 5'9", 150. Needs to get a little size, but and now they stop. I believe that was Devin Jones, the ball carrier, on the first play of the possession for Brownsburg.
So the Bulldogs, if you're thinking ahead, they're really about 3 first downs away from being able to salt this game away.
So that was Donovan Marcus, who they bring down for 3 losses. So good start for the Avon defense there.
Avon obviously looking for the quick 3 and out, wants to be able to get the ball back, and Brownsburg looking to stay inbound and keep that clock moving. You'll notice Leck kind of taking their time here, but now there's the snap.
Now, a screen pass over to Donovan Marcus, complete at the 42, and they said he was down. I didn't see the knee touch, but sometimes my vantage point is limited, so another completion there by so Donovan Marcus now with his 6th reception of the game. That would goes for 3 yards, 6 for 71 now, including the touchdown. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. 1 running back. Now Marcus gets it, and they stuff him on so they'll bring up a 4th down. Boy, they were all over him. He was triple teamed right off on the handoff.
Yeah, this will be interesting, Leck. This very well could be the last chance for Avon as the clock will move inside of 6 minutes. And so we will see, obviously, Avon with all their timeouts left, but we will see what Avon can do here, as they'll really need to try to put it together on this very important drive.
Yes, that's right. So now we've got back deep to receive for the Orioles, Riley Browder. He's 5'6", 150. And number 53 is the punter as well as the kicker. Usually in high school ball, the kicker and the punter are the same person, far more often than in the NFL. And now takes a nice roll down to about the 24. When I was first watching the NFL, they had, I think, 45-man rosters, and I think they still had a lot of guys doing both kicking and punting duties. But now with the added rosters, you have more room, to have more than a different kicker and different punter. In fact, some teams they actually have one guy to kick the field goals, the other guy to kick the kickoffs. So it's certainly there's a lot of interesting differences there, but. So now the Orioles take over at the 1st and 10 at the 24. 5:14 to go. This could be their last possession, as Rob said. So now Sanusi, Garrett, and Blades all lined up to the left. 1 receiver to the right. Jarrett Stephen, the running back. Mason Miller in shotgun. This could be their last chance to come back and win the game. Hand off to Stephen. He's got some room up the middle, and he gets about 4 maybe.
Yeah, clock moving inside of 5 minutes, so with 4:55 to go. Avon, really these next couple of plays will dictate sort of how they're going to go forward. If they pick up a first down or 2, then probably going to this may be their last chance. But if they don't get it, then they'll punt it away and maybe have another opportunity to get the ball back.
That's right, yeah. So now Cohen Morrell lining up to the right, Peyton Garrett and Jordan Blades lining up to the left. We got 2 running backs now, which it's been a rarity. We got I believe just Stevens there with standing next to Miller. Hand off to Steven now. He's going to be very close to the first down. I think he's going to be just a yard short with 4:14 to go and counting here in the fourth quarter. Avon trailing by 1, 7-6. Any score will win the game.
Yeah, that'll move the chains, Lex, so it'll stop the clock.
So a crucial first down there by Jarrett Steven. And I think there's some kids playing here somewhere in the press box, making a lot of racket, but, hopefully not damaging anything. So now let's see Cohen Morrell lining up to the right. We've got now Garrett, Blades, and one other player to the left. Steven, the running back, Miller in shotgun. Hands off to Steven again. He gets up for about 3:44 to go and counting.
I would be very surprised, and I'm sure they're going to throw the ball at some point, maybe even on this next play, but a whole lot of Mr. Steven down the stretch here because he has been their big play option for Avon tonight. 3:30 left to go in the game, Leck.
Yes, as he was in the Hamilton Southeastern game as well. And see, did we? Okay, we covered him in the first week of the season as well, against Plainfield. So that's 3 times we've covered him this year already. So now 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Steven, the running back. Miller takes the snap, and he's brought down for a sack. That's going to be about a 7-yard loss there by Mason Miller, setting up a crucial 3rd and long.
Yeah, that's one of the dangers of doing that, Leck, and obviously, now you've taken it to where you may have to throw the ball as you're facing a 3rd down and about 13 yards.
Yeah, that's right. So it ends up being a 6-yard loss there.
I still think your most likely option, though, to get the first down is to try to let Steven do something.
Yeah, especially since, they're probably not going to be clamping down on him too hard. So it's a screen pass to Steven. However, he only gets about 3 or 4 yards out of it.
Yeah, and he'll get up to about the initial line of scrimmage, so it's going to bring up a 4th down and 10. Avon probably going to go for it here.
Yeah, I would certainly think so.
Yeah, as we have now moved inside of 2:15 left to go in the game. And Avon still with all 3 timeouts, but obviously they want to make sure they get it right here. I'm a little surprised they haven't spent a timeout, as obviously this is really the key play in the game. They need to pick up about 10.5 yards here.
Yes, and under 2 minutes to go now, so this very well could be their last play on offense of the game. 2 receivers to each side now. Steven, the running back. Miller looks back to pass. He thinks about rushing it this time. He's still can pass. No, he's brought down for a short
flag
loss.
Comes in late, though, and I think they're going to get a face mask on the Bulldogs.
That would be a huge break.
We'll see if it's the intentional or unintentional variety. But either way, as he said, he was breaking free. One guy got him. Looked like that could have been a face mask. Didn't see a flag. And then the second guy came in, and after the play was over, the flag came out. So we'll see if it's the intentional or unintentional variety.
Well, I believe either way it's an automatic first down, though, isn't it?
Well, we'll learn together.
Yeah.
It is on the Bulldogs. It is the face mask. No, see, it is of the 5-yard variety.
Okay.
So I thought they still had the 2 options.
I thought it was still an automatic first down. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe it's only the intentional.
So now it's 4th down and a manageable 5.
Yeah, certainly 4th and 5, much better than 4th and 10. So now let's see. They got Sanusi and one other player out to the left, 2 receivers to the right. Jarrett Steven, the running back. Mason Miller in shotgun. Fans stomping on the bleachers here on the Brownsburg side, encouraging the defense. Miller takes the snap. He throws deep down the left side to Morrell, and we got pass interference. So the Orioles stay alive.
Yeah, big call there. Brownsburg player thinking he was going for the ball, and the Brownsburg sidelines, which we are over on, obviously agrees with him, but the officials did not. That'll be a 15-yard penalty against the Bulldogs.
So 2 penalties in a row against Brownsburg keep the Avon drive alive and keep the Orioles alive for this game. And now we got another flag. I think it's going to be unsportsmanlike conduct against somebody. There seemed to be a lot of hostility coming from the Brownsburg sideline. Boy, but that could be huge, because that means basically, combined with the pass interference and unsportsmanlike conduct, that's 33 yards for the Orioles. When they were on 4th down. So the ball now lined up Now the couple of the officials, 3 of the officials now are standing together. Now I think they're about to resume play. They have the ball marked at the 50 now. So 1st and 10 at the 50. Avon with the ball, trailing by 1. 2 timeouts left. Handoff to no. They fake the handoff. Steven. No, that Steven actually did get it. Excuse me. So it was a good fake of a fake handoff. Steven did take it himself. He only gets about 2 though, so the clock continues ticking. 1:10 to go now. Avon needing to show some urgency.
Well, they tried a field goal earlier. He had plenty of distance there from whatever that was, about 38 yards or whatever it ended up being. So the good news is for Avon, while accuracy might be an issue, they can at least kick it if they can get in within reasonable distance.
So now 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Miller takes it. He throws a screen pass over on the right to Morrell, makes the catch. He's short of the first down, tackled at about the 45, 42 seconds. They're going to have to use a timeout here.
Yeah, and they will.
Yeah.
So now they'll have 1 timeout left with 40.6 seconds to go. And obviously, again, he kicked that one from about, like we said, 37, 38 yards, had plenty of distance. So you got to think if they could get it down to about the 25, maybe the 24-yard line, somewhere in there, sort of their target range to have a reasonable shot at kicking this ball, game-winning kick.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what their kicker's range is, but, and it's, it's interesting. I mean, I've seen, I see high school teams who almost never kick field goals, who even go for the 2-point conversion every time. So you get such a wide variety there. But nevertheless, certainly and of course, the last time when the Orioles got their touchdown, they attempted a 2-point conversion, so we didn't even get to see, their kicker go for the extra point. But so now it's a big 3rd and 3 here for the Orioles. They need to at least get the first downs so that the clock can stop to move the chains, and also give the Orioles time to call a quick play so they can preserve their last remaining timeout. So now Peyton and one other receiver out to the left. And we've got Sanusi and one other to the right. I believe Jarrett Stephen is still in there at running back.
Out of the shotgun. There's the snap. Back to pass. Steps up, throws to the far side.
Got the first down and got out of bounds.
Yeah, he got out of bounds, which that's even more important. So 36.6 seconds to go. We'll see if Avon can keep the drive moving.
Yeah, so now now actually Mason Miller, after going 3 of 13 to start the game, he's now completed his last 5. They give him credit for 5 on that one. That's Morrell's 3rd reception. So now 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Steven, the running back. Miller throws down the right side. He's got a man open, but it's over his head.
I'm really surprised, Leck, with that 1 timeout left, they're not going for yardage. I mean, the odds of getting the ball in the end zone are slim, but obviously the odds of kicking a field goal pretty good with the great display earlier of distance.
Yeah, so certainly, it's still it's only only 2nd down. They still got 32 seconds to go, so not a hugely disastrous play, but still, yeah, I figured they would be going more something just would be a lower risk play just to get some more yards, because they try to, rather than trying to make it all up at one time, since they're not a team that really has a huge passing offense. So now he throws again downfield, but it's incomplete again. Quite overthrown by quite a bit. I believe Sanusi was the intended receiver there. So now 3rd and 10, a very crucial 3rd and 10 for the Orioles. And yeah, I am surprised by the play calling there, throwing deep on the first 2 plays after getting a first down. It's a little bit of a head scratcher. I understand this is only a freshman game, but so I thought they'd be a little more conservative and just try to eat up some yardage, especially because, they have enough time, and with the timeout left and, the clock stopping to move the chains, they still have a full range of options here. So now 2 receivers to each side. Steven, the running back, Miller in shotgun. High snap, but he gets it. Throws over to completed to Sanusi. He breaks the tackle. He's got the first down. He stays on his feet, and he could go all the way. He's inside the 10, inside the 5, brought down at about the 3. The clock will stop to move the chain. 16.1 seconds to go.
Well, that was exactly what Avon wanted, and much to the dismay of the Bulldogs fans, Avon really knocking on the door here, and obviously they want to get the ball in the end zone, and Avon's going to spend its final timeout, so they've really got to decide what they're going to do here as they don't have any timeouts left, Leck.
Yeah, that's right. They play from Miller to Sanusi covering 35 yards. Sanusi is the leading receiver for Avon. He has 4 receptions for 73 yards. So now, yeah, you're right. Certainly not having a timeout is a handicap, but on the bright side, they can always, throw the ball away to stop the clock. So that they should get at least 2 plays, maybe 3. The main thing that they cannot do is afford to get tackled inbounds. If they do that, you get tackled inbounds, there's no guarantee you're even going to have time to line up and spike it. So, yeah, you have to either, basically you have to either throw right to the sideline or inbounds. But nevertheless, we got a barn burner of a finish coming up here at Brownsburg. Well, I'll tell you, it's the freshman and JV games this year that have tended to have the most drama that I've done. Most of the varsity games I've done have been blowouts. So now, first and goal at the 3, 16 seconds to go. 2 receivers to the left, 2 receivers to the right. Jarrett Stephen, the running back, Mason Miller in shotgun, takes the snap, throws in the middle, and it's incomplete. The clock stops, 13.1 seconds to go. Peyton Garrett was the intended receiver. He seems to think there would have been pass interference here. Although at this point, let's face it, that would be just half the distance to the goal. That would just move it up about 1.5 yards. So second and goal now, 13.1 seconds to go. Mason Miller has completed 8 passes here in the second half after none in the first half. So now let's see, we've got Cohen Morrell and Peyton Garrett lined up to the left, Janon Sanusi and another lined up to the right. Jarrett Stephen, the running back, Mason Miller in shotgun, 13.1 seconds to go, takes the snap, and there's this fumble, and now the Orioles fall in it with 7 seconds to go. I don't think they're going to be able to, get it spotted to timeout. No, they don't. So Brownsburg holds on to win in a thriller of a finish. And I'll tell you, that's the danger of getting down into that situation when you don't have any timeouts left.
Yeah, that's a heartbreaking loss for Avon. And again, just not much they could do. The ball was knocked loose. And then obviously the Avon fell on it, but they ran out of time. So a great game tonight. Ultimately, Avon falls 7-6. Want to thank our sponsors who make Avon football possible, including Red Cobra Wrestling. Also want to thank Avon Dental Center. Want to thank McNamara Flores and Reynolds Body Shop. Leck, final thoughts.
Well, I'll tell you, it was a heck of a game, hard fought, very evenly contested. And, a game like this, this is one of those games where whoever loses is going to point down to 1 or 2 plays on which the game hinged, thinking, gee, if we had only done this differently, if we hadn't made this mistake here, we would have won it. But, these are freshmen. This is the kind of thing you got to learn from, and I think that these the coaching staff of Avon, will show these kids the mistakes that they made, things that they have to work on to improve so that, when they're playing varsity ball in 2 or 3 years, that they'll, be in position to win games like this.
All right, final score, Brownsburg 7, Avon 6. Thanks for joining us. For Leck Zorn, I'm Rob Kendall saying have yourself a great evening.
Good night.